Check out our rippling biceps. Look at them.
Hey, Fandom buddies. So Dan and I just watched a movie, and so now we've decided to have a new segment on our channel. What are we calling it? We didn't name it. It's
After dinner movie reviews.
oh, that's boring.
Well, we were doing breakfast time movie reviews, and
That's true. What about like Evan and Dan's late night movie time review show?
oh yeah, no, I like that one.
Like that one better? Cool. Awesome. I'll probably make some kind of logo thing happen.
Hey, Fandom buddies.
Hey, Fandom buddies. Okay, so we just watched Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
Yes, Jack Reacher 2, Reach Around. And
The Reachoning.
The Reachoning. It was, first off, awesome. Had a great time. Dan, did you enjoy the film?
I had a wonderful time.
Excellent. Now let's talk about all of its exceptional flaws.
Which, like,
As soon as the movie ended, we're like, wow! We like looked at each other and just went, dude, this was awesome. But wasn't it weird how like nobody looked at like the main characters constantly sprinting everywhere and like kicking doors open?
There was a guy, like, as soon as I was kind of starting off with the slow boil here. One of the flaws that this movie had, which as we stated, were aplenty. The movie was actually very enjoyable.
Super great. Had a great time. But very fun.
There are a few things that were just hard to ignore. One of them was the pacing. Couldn't figure out if it was shifting between second and third gear, fourth or fifth gear in reverse, because also
it went sideways at a few points.
There was one of the moments right before we actually spoke on the movie's flaws was when the movie ended.
Yeah.
Which caught me off guard. I knew we were like within seconds of the ending, but it faded to black and the credits started rolling in the most ill-timed fashion ever. It was just sort of like, and then Resolve was, sorry, we got started there.
Yeah. And then Jack Reacher was over. Here's some credits for you.
And
you like those,
They were
right?
also rolling at the same speed that a made-for-TV movie credit rolls at the end, where it's like, it's running really fast, and all of a sudden you're just hearing, it's like, coming up next on the CSI Marathon. You're like, what the shit?
Coming up next on CSI Marathon, more CSI. So biggest complaint, biggest thing that we noticed, and we didn't talk during the entire movie.
No, it's not what we do.
We usually don't.
We do the post-mortem.
Except I did have to lean over at one point, just so you understood that Kobe Smulders is the most beautiful woman.
And
I believe there's a scene where she's just choking out a bad guy with like a garden hose, like super hard. And I just lean over, I'm like, that is the most beautiful woman.
what was great about it, too, is because when she actually kills the bad guy, Evan was on the verge of shouting, I didn't say the safe word! Keep going!
I need more. I need this for me. So as soon as the movie ended, I was like, we like looked at each other and like we had a moment where we were just like,
The movie was action-packed.
it's super fun. We just like lean over to each other, like, okay, that was great, right? Yeah, that was great. But wasn't it weird? Wasn't it weird how like they were just like sprinting through airports and through a park, through Mardi Gras, through literally everywhere else that they go, and nobody just like
Reacted in any way.
Yeah, nobody looks. It's as if the people that exist in the reality of the Jack Reacher movie, because this wasn't the case with the first one. I guess.
No,
I haven't seen the first one. Only Dan did.
Yeah, and, I've read a few of the books. I've seen the first movie.
Yeah.
The first movie, everyone seemed a little more hyper-aware. Like, there were moments that it seemed like everyone was kind of aware of Tom Cruise's presence, as if all of a sudden it's like, people who didn't even know who he was, like, that's Jack Reacher.
What? It's Jack Reacher. But in this one, it was a lot of like, I mean, I just imagine people would just be shopping for groceries as like bullets are flying by their head, just going, peas are on sale. That's nice.
Nobody acknowledged anything. And also, this is not just weird for a post 9/11 world. That was weird for a pre 9/11 world.
Yeah, that's weird for a reality that exists. What was it? I said this element of the movie is the least believable aspect of any film I have ever seen, and I have seen Lord of the Rings. Because even Treebeard would have gone, what?
And what's it?
Tom Cruise parkours up the side of a building
During Mardi Gras
during Mardi Gras.
Halloween.
There's a bunch of people on a balcony.
Mardi Gras Halloween.
Mardi Gras Halloween. He is parkouring up the side of a drain pipe, that's attached to this balcony. He goes right by people, like as close as Dan and I are to each other. Just literally, just like climbing up this wall, and nobody turns.
Quite literally, it felt like all of a sudden, it's like you imagine there's some kind of concerned guy just going, it's like, hey, hun, kind of a strange Tom Cruise-y guy just went past me parkouring up.
Don't look! Don't look! We're not supposed to look!
It's Mardi Gras Halloween! Don't ruin this for me! Our marriage is hanging on by a thread, and you're looking at other dudes!
I need this holiday for me!
One of the things that I couldn't ignore either was the fact that everyone was so not looking. I was telling Evan.
They were so not looking.
I was actually telling Evan, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that this was someone who just wasn't doing their job. Like, there was a first assistant director who may have pointed out to the assistant director going, it's like, have you ever noticed that nobody's looking? And he's got this look, he's sitting there going, it's like, what? What do you mean they're not looking? Maybe they got priors. Maybe they all got 2 strikes. Snitching ain't bitching.
They don't want to start anything.
They served their time. They're not going back to the pen.
Yeah, they served their nickel.
But I just feel like, it's like at that point, it's like even when they did the airport scene, I feel like that assistant director was going, it's like, sir, I don't know what to tell you, but people would be looking. What? They all got priors.
The airport itself has a prior. It was caught shoplifting.
Yeah. And you know what? That TSA agent over there, what's your name? Oh, it's Bob. He was caught with a little girl. No, I wasn't. You were.
You were.
That's why you ain't looking at Jack Reacher.
Mm-mm.
Nobody looks at Jack Reacher.
Nobody looks at Jack Reacher.
But it was that was like literally. After a while, I was like, everyone's got priors in this movie.
It was weird.
And there was a point at the end of the film when after Jack kills the bad guy at Halloween Mardi Gras, he literally dumps him over the ledge into an alleyway. And I remember you looked over at me like, there's probably some guy down there too with his phone out.
Yeah.
Just like all of a sudden body falls next to him. I'm sure there's 2 sides to this story.
Yeah. Just, okay. Glass houses and stones. Glass houses and stones. Just, boom, body right next to him. Glass houses and stones. Glass houses and stones.
Who
am I to judge?
Yeah. It is a modern world and between consenting adults.
Yes. Between consenting dead bodies and pavement.
And that was that was one of the most bizarre things is that this movie, when it was doing well, it was doing very well. And when it was off, it took
me out in the weird, it took me out of the movie in the weirdest way. I've never experienced a movie that quite took me out of the action so quickly.
And that was doing well up until then.
It was doing well, and there's I just don't understand. Seriously, if you see people sprinting through the park, do you notice them? That's it. Think for just a second. If somebody was sprinting as if for their lives through the park, would you notice? Not even turn your head. Not even, comment on it. But just a glance. That alone. You would glance. You would notice. You would make some indication of noticing that action taking place. And yet, nobody did. It was the weirdest direction. Because somebody had to have said, all right, extras, nobody pay attention. to the movie we're filming.
Y'all got priors.
Y'all got priors.
Everybody got priors.
You served your nickel, and you don't want to go back to the pen.
Because you know what happens when snitches go back to jail? They get cut. That's right, you will get cut.
And therefore, by extension, receive stitches.
I could not. And also, that was, snitches get stitches.
That's right.
And then also, the movie made these bizarre attempts for like effortless, what would appear like very effortless tactical maneuvers, which sometimes works, sometimes didn't. I'm gonna talk about one that didn't.
Okay.
And it was in the park. But one of the things the first Jack Reacher movie did well, and this one didn't seem like it did as well. It seemed like it was trying to emulate it. Was the idea of more subdued action. This is probably one of the more subdued action movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Even though the action was very intense, still the pacing kind of slowed it all down. But they're running through the park, and they're being chased after by Blackwater. They're being chased after by military police. And then finally, they see a restaurant to hide out in, and Colby Smolder says, "Restaurant." She is decked out in full military fatigues. Tom Cruise just looks like he's wanted all the time.
And a hat. Does she have the hat at that point?
Yeah, because...
I'm actually concerned how she got that hat.
Oh, remember? She actually took it from the cab driver.
Yeah. She talked to the cab driver about his hat, and then she had it in the next scene. Did they beat up the kindly cab driver?
Who? Yeah.
Because they beat up everybody in that movie.
Oh yeah. No, everyone got punched.
Yeah, everybody gets punches. You get punched. You get punched. Everybody gets punched.
Speaking of punch, I see ecto coolers.
Yes, I downed mine already.
But then
it's late, and I wanted sugar because I'm an adult.
So they're trying to escape, and she just points to the restaurant like restaurant. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, cool. So we're gonna see some, some real tactical spy shit. And they storm into the restaurant like drunken elephants on
pushing
parade.
People out of the way.
And all she does to subdue this is to say to the maitre d', she was like, "We're meeting a party in the back.
Get out of my way."
And like I felt at that point too, especially when the first Blackwater comes in, then the police follow them, and I'm just assuming that this lady was like. A woman just came in and she said she was meeting a party in the back, but we don't open the back until dinner. I just put that together.
But also, wait a second, Dan. I think I just figured it out. They were dead the whole time. They were all ghosts. That's why nobody noticed. All right, so let's talk about this movie in terms of if everyone was already dead. Ghosts smuggling firearms and drugs.
Heaven is fucked.
I'm liking this movie better already.
And then also one of the things...
Ghost drugs!
One of the things that we have to acknowledge, too, is the fact that this is it's a more subdued Tom Cruise role than most people have often seen. He just doesn't talk that much in both movies.
It's like he's daring people to just carry the movie without him.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Tom Cruise. I'm here. Just being here is making this movie a success. I don't need to say lines. By all means. Show me what you got, everybody else. I'm Tom Cruise.
The camera stays on him for so long as he's receiving information. Like, there are so many times that the camera cuts away from actors acting to cut to him reacting. But I was telling you when we were walking out of the theater that his reacting to me it looked like he was trying to remember a recipe and if it could be done like vegan or gluten friendly, because like there's a lot.
It was a lot of facial acting. It was a lot of just like really subdued. I'm just gonna get in close here.
Can I make that?
Yeah. Do you want an inner monologue?
Yeah. That'll go good with olive oil. Did they say they were allergic to walnuts?
You go in. Is acorn squash in season? Tom's toothpaste. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was weird.
It was, and
it was weird and like, but like that. I don't think that didn't take me out of it. That was just That was something interesting, like post facto, to point out.
I thought it was actually, it was good acting, but the problem is that they cut away from other actors so often to show you his reactions. And then, like you said, there were scenes where it was like he was daring them to like carry the movie. It's like, Colby Smulders, what you been up to?
I'm Tom Cruise, so I'm in everything.
Yeah.
What are you at? Avengers? How I Met Your Mother, one of the most successful, sitcoms of all time.
Tell you what, why don't you act this scene? I'm just going to step into soft focus.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a scene where they're interrogating a junkie, and I almost picture like the director just saying, "All right, so we want the two of you to interrogate this like a team. This is like the team building moment of the film." And Tom goes, "Okay. How about instead action?" And then like the scene plays out, and it's like, okay, cut. So Tom, I noticed that you yelled action. I'm actually the director, and you didn't say any of your lines. Okay. Yeah, and it's okay. You know what? It's fine. We got this great shot, long depth of field, so we got like both of you in the action still, and it was. Oh, you had me in the action. I believe I wanted to be in a soft focus. I'm just gonna. Let's take that one again. Action. Again, Tom, you're not the director.
Hold on.
I'm Tom Cruise. Action.
Let me try it from
Soft focus.
Let me try it from this perspective. Let me just go and see what kind of lens you're using. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna have my knee in the scene.
That's it. That's a good soft focus knee right there.
And then
So that's
so
good.
People's
That's good for people.
Something we did not talk about when we were talking about people's inability to notice things in this movie
Yes.
was the prison break, which was very tense, but it took me so far out of the movie. It was because
I don't think I've seen a prison break rely so heavily on just punching everyone.
And also, it was done under cover of mid-afternoon with full security cameras
They
covering.
showed the cameras going in, which normally in a movie would indicate that like
Someone knows.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so they see where the cameras are, so they're gonna circumvent that somehow. They're gonna like know where the blind spots are. No, they just walk through hallways, punching people. Jack Reacher.
And also,
Punch down.
we saw they went out of their way to show that he was looking at the security systems where the doors open and close. So you're like, oh, he's counting steps to go backwards and everything.
He's gonna maybe like later tonight, he's gonna like turn off the lights, but he knows where everything is, even in the dark. No, he's in and out in what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, and then
20 minutes movie time. The entire scene took place in what, 5?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then also there's a moment where his first part of the prison break is to beat up the guy escorting him and take his clothes, which he just took the jacket and the hat. And then he walks through a security camera, clearly Tom Cruise. And first of all, the guy he beat up was a 6'5" black guy.
Yeah, and nobody noticed the difference.
And I feel like there had to be one security guard going, it's like, is that Jack Reacher? And then all of a sudden, no, private. Jack Reacher didn't come in wearing a hat. That's why you're still a private.
You need to go back to army school. Get your sergeant diploma.
Then you can tell the difference between when people are wearing hats or not.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
But what if
a dummy?
What if he took that man's hat? Well, that wouldn't be very nice. And we teach them better than that in army school.
Yep. Yeah. Manners. Manners are
but yeah, the
important.
prison break was beyond absurd in the sense that it was filmed competently, it was acted competently,
Yeah.
the pacing was good.
It was great.
But every camera angle showed us, not just security camera, but also every actual camera angle was leading us to believe that this was visible from fucking space.
They even had a shot as they were walking through the hallways where Jack Reacher had his like Jack Reacher vision, and it like quick cut to be like boom, 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 boom. So it's like, oh, he knows where the hallways are. And then that was useless information to have been filmed.
But then also they reflect back on him remembering Jack Reacher vision.
Yeah.
So once again, just imagining Tom Cruise. Would you like to Tom Cruise face for the camera real quick?
Okay, yeah. There we go.
You remember when I walked down that hallway? That was a great time. Man, I love hallways. Ooh, wait, let me turn down the saturation real quick. Black and white hallway.
Yeah.
Is it still rolling?
I believe so. Yeah. But you know what? We've been talking about this movie for a while, so final notes? Final notes.
Final notes.
Final notes.
Something that came up towards the end. First of all, Tom Cruise is, fine-looking man and everything. His biceps are kind of disturbingly large. Like, he looks like they were taken from John Cena.
Yeah.
But also, Tom Cruise...
Grafted.
Yeah.
Just like...
Tom Cruise has this insistence to do a kind of Robert Mitchum tactic that used to be a little more passable in the 50s.
Oh, God, yeah. So there's a scene where he takes his shirt off. Dan, what does he do? What does he...
Sucks the gut way too far in, and the chest comes out to fucking Neptune.
He just, like, takes his shirt up. Yeah, Jack Reacher. That's right. I'm certainly not a 52-year-old Tom Cruise.
And then what was so crazy about that, too, was like...
This is the first movie where I felt that Tom Cruise looked his age, his actual human being age, but that's not the age he was trying to play, which was weird.
They went out of their way to, it's like, there's Jack Reacher on the loose, male, mid-40s. And it was like, okay.
I mean, he looks great for his age, but, like, not mid-40s great.
But that's also one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make sense. First of all, I know, however your feeling is about Tom Cruise, I feel like every time he's done a good performance, it's been a great performance.
Yeah.
And he certainly looks, looks fine to me.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to go that extra step.
Yeah. He's an experienced action movie star.
But literally, like, there were just scenes where it was like, hold on, you gotta get this bad boy off.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Jack Reacher.
Yep.
And I feel, and also one of the things I couldn't help but, I told you about this is, having read the books, Jack Reacher is described somewhere between 6'4" and 6'5" and being about 240 pounds.
That is the least Tom Cruise description I have ever heard in the history of forever.
Who do we have for Jack Reacher? We've got Tom Cruise. I see. Okay, well, we're going to have to do some serious rewrites. Sir, we do have John Cena's arms.
I think that's what we need. I think we need John Cena's arms.
Are they going to
Tom
fit,
Cruise's
though?
body.
Because John Cena's arms are in metric and Tom Cruise is in standard.
Did you just insinuate that John Cena's from, like, Europe? Or Canada? Oh my god! John Cena's arms are in metric. He's Canadian. New internet rumor services. John Cena from Canada.
So
Is it yes? Maybe, but no.
overall, it's like watching Jack Reacher was fun, but what was strange about it is that when the movie decided to take us out of the reality, it decided to rip us out of the reality.
Yeah, it was jarring. My final note has to be that this movie was super crazy amounts of fun. Loved it. At times, I found it very touching, even. Ooh, just hit the mic. But ultimately, I don't think I've ever enjoyed a movie that I have also found so entirely ridiculous before.
And it wasn't just like the ridiculous of how would you define? I'm trying to think of like ridiculous, like transporter ridiculous, where it's like Jason Statham has to hack into the mainframe of the government with his car hack.
Yep, car hack.
Not that kind of ridiculous.
Car hack 2, the hackening.
Not that kind of ridiculous. This movie was ridiculous in the sense that it was asking us to believe that this ex-military police officer who is trained in all sorts of badassery, not only retains the badassery, which is easy to believe, it's the fact that everyone around him seemed to be on his side, which is like, there's got to be one kid who was at Halloween Mardi Gras going, it's like, Mom, I just saw Jack Reacher kill a man. Jack Reacher doesn't kill men, he puts them to night sleep.
Yep.
Now here, have a lollipop.
Have a lollipop and a balloon as a stereotypical child.
You do not want priors.
Also, pay no attention to people sprinting through the street, as we are all not doing.
Snitches get stitches.
That's true. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our ecto-cooler fueled ramblings. I love you very much. Good night.
Halloween Mardi Gras is my favorite.
Up top. There it is. Oh, okay, we're done.